In this video, I want to teach you how to adjust your front brake line so you know how to adjust yours on your dirt bike. What's up, Rad family? I'm Dakota Freeman and welcome to the Rad Adventure Dude channel. It's going to be so important that if we want our front brake to work correctly, that we know how to adjust our front brake line. Our front brake line is going to be this line that runs in front of our number plate from our front wheel. This, on my dirt bike, is going to be a hydraulic cable that is going to be adjusted right here. You always want to make sure that you have your brake fluid full, as this is going to be a very important part of making sure that our brakes are working correctly. My front brake has an adjustment on the front brake itself. I spin this little knob and this is what's actually going to adjust my front brake lever. I like to have mine pretty aggressive, so I tighten it up a lot. That way that my brake works as soon as I pull my brake lever in. Other ways to adjust your brake lever are going to be to bleed your front brake line. The front brake is going to be bled from filling this up, and then we actually use the bottom caliper to push out the excess fluid. We don't want any air in this, so it's very important that when we are bleeding our front brakes, that this reservoir is full and we simply just pop a little fluid out the bottom. We also want to make sure that our front brake line isn't rubbing on our number plate. If it's rubbing on the number plate, it can mess up your graphics, and it's very easy to fix this simply by turning this screw. This screw is what's going to adjust this out a little bit, so that way it's not rubbing and messing anything up. So right here you can see this is how we adjust our front brake lever. You can see this plus and this minus on there. So you adjust to the plus to make it more aggressive, the minus to make it less aggressive. I like mine pretty aggressive, like I was just saying, so I like to have mine as tight pretty much as possible, so that way as soon as I get my brake just barely pulled in, it's already engaging my front brake. This reservoir has a little window in it, so you can actually see if the fluid's full, low, or what's going on inside of there, and just make sure that you always have this reservoir full so that your front brake works properly. This front brake line is then going to actually go all the way down to your front brake caliper. The front brake caliper here is where this line ends up and can be adjusted from this bolt right here. Whenever we want to bleed our brakes, we will use this little knob right here, just this little nut right here, to push air through the line and out here at the bottom. We really want to make sure that this cable does not have any air in it, or else our brakes will not work correctly. And this is why we would bleed our brakes, to pump the air down and then out this hole. So that's how you're going to bleed your brakes there, and can really help you get your brakes working better on your dirt bike. So to make our front brake line adjustment, we can actually turn this little spot right here and adjust this out. And we really want this front brake line to run smoothly all the way down to our brake caliper. This line is very important to our front brake and making sure that we get the most out of our front brake. We don't want to have to pull our brake all the way in before it engages, so this is why it's very important to make sure that we have our front brake adjusted correctly. Make sure you never work on your bike unless you know what you're doing here. You can always read through your manual to make sure you're doing things properly and making sure that everything is where it should be before you go riding. Our front brake reservoir here actually uses a specific oil for this, and it will tell you either in your manual or on top of this cap. So make sure you're always putting the correct fluid inside your brake line. Rad family, I'm so proud of you for taking this time to learn how to improve your dirt bike brakes so that you can stop better on your bike. If this video helped you, make sure you like this video and drop some comments down below. Ask me any other questions that you have. If you're still looking for more dirt bike riding tips, I'm always here. I've made a full dirt bike riding course over on my website that's going to walk you through being a complete beginner and take you to an advanced rider mastering the tracks and trails. If you haven't clicked the subscribe button yet, make sure you click that and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any of my future dirt bike riding tips. After that, you can watch my next video right here. Stay rad, and I'll see you over there.